introduce our first speaker, I would now request our distinguished Toastmaster Savita Salyan, the Club Growth Director of District 121, to please come up on screen and introduce DTM Gauri Seshadri.
Good evening, dear leaders. This is a year that has changed perceptions and expectations. All the traditional insights that we had about people and processes have been stood on their heads. Before March, it was mostly business as usual at Toastmasters. Never did we envisage a time when being with others had to be viewed on a need-to-be basis. When the pandemic struck and Toastmasters instructed us to conduct virtual meetings, everyone had to shift their priorities. The biggest issue is to preserve continuity while driving growth. Let us not be intimidated by the challenge. Dear members, to help us grow from a state of fragility to resilience, to support us in a quest to learn, to enjoy the challenges, we have a Toastmaster leader who has risen from the ranks to occupy the highest echelons of responsibility in the district and the region. We know distinguished Toastmaster Gauri Seshadri as a former district director of Toastmasters District 92. She led District 92 to the world's #1 position in 2015-16, and I had the privilege to be the area director in her term. She has served for 2 consecutive years as region advisor for both Region 13 and 14. It is any surprise that she is a strategy, consulting, and training professional, specializing in developing cultural competency and diversity management skills for businesses and employees, and is an expert in creating and managing high-functioning, diverse teams and optimizing cross-cultural business interaction. Excellence in marketing, excellence in education and training, and excellence in leadership are but a few of the several accolades from Toastmasters International that she had garnered till last year. This year, she was honored the prestigious Presidential Citation Award at the International Convention, and we had the privilege to watch it. It was a very proud and inspirational moment for every Toastmasters of District 121. As a very own member, distinguished Toastmaster Gauri, as one of the recipients of this award. The Presidential Citation is one of the highest honors in all of Toastmasters. We have seen her in action and heard her address groups efficiently. It's time now to listen to distinguished Toastmaster Gauri Seshadri addressing us on how to retain members and attract new members in the movement. Toastmasters, here's distinguished Toastmaster Gauri for you.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Savita. Now, let us move on to the most awaited moment for the day, which is going to be the session over adding and retaining members, which will be definitely delivered by our very esteemed guest today, that is distinguished Toastmaster Gauri Seshadri. And now, I hand over the screen to the presenter of the first session for today, distinguished Toastmaster Gauri Seshadri.
Thank you so much for all the kind words, and folks, don't turn off your videos. It's been a long time since I've interacted with the members of District 121, so let me see all those familiar faces once again, and if you're not so familiar, let's become familiar through this video. Thank you, District 121, for the felicitation. It's quite embarrassing. Thank you so much. Nirmala is right. You know, I started my district leadership journey when she was in the district trio, but they say that you stand higher and taller on the shoulders of giants. So thank you, District Director Nirmala, for helping me out with my journey in district leadership. If I was Nirmala's best area director, then my best area director while I was district director was none other than Program Quality Director, Savita Salyan. So what goes around comes around kind of thing. So I'd also like to acknowledge the presence, Club Growth Director, Savita Salyan. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of Program Quality Director and a very good friend of mine, Vanita Rangarajan, and a teacher of most Toastmasters, at least mine, my role model in ethics, especially distinguished Toastmaster Prabhakar sir. I've always said that Toastmasters is like extended family, but today I'm taking the session with a family member of mine. And for those who don't know, Prabhakar sir and I are related. He's kind of, in a long, twisted kind of way, he's my uncle. So for those you don't know, the same family members are taking the session today. So here we are. It's all about adding and retaining members. People think it's COVID, it's tough times. It is. But during tough times, during times of crisis, there always lies opportunity. And adding and retaining members, whether in person and online, is pretty much the same thing. We're going to start off by, I'm going to ask you to go to mentee.com and just put out there, why did you join Toastmasters? And Azhar, if you could send them the link in the chat. Stop the share. Why did you join Toastmasters? Can you please send the code 6755337?
The code has been shared in the chat window as well. So all you need to do is copy it and paste it, and you need to visit mentee.com. I'm putting the link as well.
Okay. And if you had no particular reason to join Toastmasters, then why do members in your club join Toastmasters generally? Let's see what you're saying. Felt comfortable and welcome to become a public speaker. Great. I know we have 60 people on the call, so let's see 60 answers out there. Was impressed by me. Oh, fantastic. I hope it kept up to its reputation. Wow. What about those in corporate clubs? I'm assuming some of you are in corporate clubs, so. I wanted to learn how to practice. Okay, cool. So you've all listed certain things of why you joined Toastmasters, and it's pretty much the same for anybody else, right? Most of the reasons are pretty much the same. People are afraid of public speaking. They want to network. They want to improve their communication skills. In my case, I was afraid to talk to strangers. So I just needed enough courage to go and say hello to someone I did not know. So you need to keep in mind that these are the reasons why people are looking for Toastmasters in the first place. There are a couple of steps that I'm going to tell you about attracting potential members to your club, and whether you're the VPM, VPPR, or just a regular member of your club. These are methods that will work for in-person meetings. It will work for online meetings, pretty much the same, just different platforms. The first one is social media. Today, it's all about the digital platform. Does your club have a website? Is your website up to date, or did you just make the website and the last posting out there says 2013 or 2014, right? Did you put in the winners of your last meeting? Everyone's taking screenshots. We just now took screenshots of our meeting. Did you post all those happy faces on those websites? You know, how updated is your website? Is it still showing a physical address as your club location? Second is, if you're having club meetings, how are you advertising it? I would say, and this is my personal take, is that the district Facebook page is definitely not the place to advertise your club meetings, because otherwise you'll spam your district pages and all the club meetings will kind of get lost. You have your own club Facebook page, advertise it there. But if you have a special meeting, then do consider advertising it on your division's Facebook page, or maybe if it's really, really special, like, you know, we just felicitated DTM Prabhakar. He's one of our biggest role models. So put it up on the district Facebook page. There's meetup.com, there's Twitter. So what kind of social media handles are you using to promote your club meetings, right? That's the first thing that you need to think about. The second is, okay, you make all this noise and people come to your club, but what's the meeting quality? Do you have quality meetings, or is it chaos? Are the meetings starting and ending on time? Is there a network session, or it's like, okay, late ho gaya, let's just start. Late ho gaya, let's just finish. You know, are you taking some time out to talk to the guests and network with them? And are your meetings fun? Is there laughter? The reason why I asked all of you to turn on your webcams right now is try and simulate an in-person meeting as much as possible. In an in-person meeting, I would be able to see all your faces. I would be able to work off the energy that you all are showing me, right? And that's the same thing for a speaker in a club. If you're only 20 people in your club, all the more reasons to turn on your webcam and simulate the in-person meeting as much as possible. The third one is marketing. We have this medley award period right now, and then there's Talk Up Toastmasters, there's Beat the Clock. But on and whole, if your club membership is less than 20, how do you build it up to 20 so that you can become distinguished? The various marketing things, like have an open house. This is basically have a virtual open house, advertise it, call everybody you know, call family, friends, every single person that you know. District 121, I know, is doing a pretty big thing with Rotary this year. They also have a Rotary Toastmasters chair, I believe. So work with that chair and see whether you can invite the local Rotarians to your clubs to take part in the meetings, right? If you live in an apartment complex, see if you can call the apartment folks in. If you are part of the corporate club, see if you can call the other departments of your company in. Now, it's actually easier to call people now because they no longer have an excuse that I have to travel for 2 hours distance, or I'll be stuck at Silk Board, which is right next to my house, and I hate going out because of that reason. There's no traffic excuse. People can definitely take out half an hour or 1 hour from the time and just pop in for a few minutes, if possible, for your club meeting online. And finally, reach out. Okay. You have your family and friends. There was a lot of talk in our district leader training that happened earlier in August, where people were saying that you need to be very professional. You shouldn't have your family members in and around you and things like that. I would say have a club meeting where you bring a family member to the club. Program Quality Director Vanita is part of my home club, and often when we watch her on screen, one of her daughters, she's got 2 daughters, and one of her daughters just pops in and says hello. When the daughter realizes that her mom is having so much fun, I'm sure she will want to join a Gavel club, or when she grows up, she might want to join a Toastmasters club herself, right? So maybe those members may not join your club right now, but someday they will be part of this wonderful organization. So invite them. Also, invite your past alumni of your club. My former club's Medley Speaker Society has reached out to all the past members of the club. One of them is in London, one of them is in Chennai, one of them is in Delhi, and they've been added to our WhatsApp group, and everyone is eager to join into the club. And some have even renewed their membership right now. You know, just call people and say, hey, we miss you. Why don't you just come and give a speech? Or just come and say hello, have a past president's meeting, or have a past members meeting. They were all senior members. They know how to do the meeting. They wouldn't have forgotten even if they take a 2-year break, right? So just call them in, and once they attend 2 or 3 meetings, they would love to again join your club. The Buddy Award is something that I'd seen in one of the districts that I was working with as region advisor, and it was fun. So what happens in the Buddy Award is at the start of the month, the club gave a report of whatever happened in their club the previous month. Now we have a lot of club members, guests who come to our club meetings saying, oh, I came here because Suhas invited me. I came here because Vanita invited me. I came here because Srinivas invited me. But are we recognizing Suhas, Vanita, Srinivas? We probably are not. So at the end of every month, you can say, hey, I give the Buddy Award for the month of August to Suhas because he brought in 5 guests to our club, or 5 potential members. Whether or not they converted to members, that's besides the point. But who is advocating for for Toastmasters? Who is advocating for this organization a lot? Reward them, identify them, publicly acknowledge them, you know, and then people will want to get this Buddy Award and they will want to invite their friends along, right? Out of 10 people who join your club, maybe 2 you can convert into members, or 3 or 4, depending on how good your club meetings are. So this works perfectly fine even for in-person meetings. If you have decided to go back to in-person meetings, that's fine too. You know, if it's a smaller place and you have 20 members in your club, maybe you have a meeting from 3 or 4 different houses. So people gather in 3 or 4 different houses, and then you still have a hybrid of an in-person and an online meeting at the same time. So you still can meet some of your friends and at the same time be online with the rest of your friends in your club meeting. So these are a couple of things for you to think about, right? But now you've attracted potential members to the club. How do you convert them to new members? Now, this is the part where a lot of clubs falter and a lot of club officers falter. You've done all these advertisements, you've done all these publicity. There are 60 people on this Zoom call, you know, fantastic. We had 500 people, we had 100 people, whatnots. But do you have a time to greet your guests? Do you have time to personally reach out to the guests? Do you have a networking time before the meeting? What if someone joins late? Do you have a networking time between the meeting, right? So those are things that you need to think of. I would recommend having the networking time before and during the meetings rather than after the meetings, because people generally, especially in community clubs, get tired in that 2-hour session and want to leave immediately after. There's something called Zoom fatigue also. We are attending too many online meetings in a day. So have the networking time in the start or in the middle, or probably both. And reach out, talk to people. If there are too many guests, tag one club member to each guest so that they can personally have a conversation with them. After the meeting, what's really, really important is follow up. Okay. Club VPMs and VPNs are very glad to see attendance of 20 or 30. But what happens in this case is you start seeing familiar names. Like, for example, I see Naina come to my club all the time. She has come 3, 4, 5 times. But I know that Naina, I personally know that Naina is not a member of my club. But because she's come so often, I'm starting to give her roles. Okay. And she's taking away roles from my members. And she's coming in because she really loves my club. So maybe after the 3rd time, maybe the 4th time Nana comes to my club, I say, hey, Nana, we really love having you here. And it looks like you love being here. Why don't you consider taking a dual membership in our club? So have that follow-up. It's very important to do follow-ups. Or ask a guest, hey, would you like to give me your email address so that I can email you the screenshots of the meeting? You know, I can send you the maybe a guest kit if you have developed one with the basics of Toastmasters. Or if they won a certificate during table topics, maybe you can email them that table topic certificate rather than drop it in Zoom chat and saying, here, download it from here. Because then you will not have that opening to follow up with them later, right? So please make a note of whoever is attending your meeting, guests, whether they're Toastmasters and other clubs or just guests in general. And at least after 3 meetings, if you see them quite often, then do try and seal the deal and make them your member. I want you to say, type in, why do members lead Toastmasters? And Azhar, if you can put on the code, if you haven't already.
Yes, Gauri, I just put the code in the chat window along with the link.
Thank you, Azhar. It's the same code, 6755327. I know a lot of you are saying it's people want to leave because of the pandemic, but do they really want to leave because of the pandemic? And if they do, then let's hear some of those answers also. So for the person who has put in, they don't participate actively, could you, in chat, if you're not able to put another response, say why they don't participate actively? Okay, they lack interest because of online meetings. Anything else? Priority, okay. Interesting. Come on, there are 60 people out here. I see about 6 answers. So it's okay if you're putting the same thing, right? Most clubs have the same kind of issues. Most members leave for the same reason. So that's fine. Let's just see. District officers, I'm sure you have the problem too. So let's see some of you put things in. Do not like the evaluation. No, I don't want to join that club. They don't see their development as they expected. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we had, thank you so much for sharing those thoughts. Let me just activate my chat. Not here. Just a second. Okay, I can't see the time screen. Okay, we had a lot of you put that in, but let me address a couple of elephants in the room, and by that I don't mean me. What I would like to say is when the pandemic hit, there was a lot of discussion out there saying that, oh, Toastmasters should reduce fees, it's too much money. Do you agree about that? At least you might have seen discussion about that, but it's funny how none of you put out there that money was an issue, because at the end of the day, it isn't. Okay, Toastmasters is a great way to build your skills at a very cost-effective price. There are things about priorities that are there. There are corporate clubs that have stopped funding for the members, and you've got to acknowledge that. But what I would like to say about membership retention, especially during these tough times, is people have to make tough decisions, okay? There are lots of people who are out of jobs, they've been laid off. There are people like me who have our own businesses whose clients have not paid us for months because it's difficult to get them money. So it's a question of what was mentioned out there, priority. Right now, Toastmasters may not necessarily be a priority for me. But if it is all about member experience, if people have had a great time in Toastmasters, when they have enough money, when they have enough time, they will join Toastmasters back. Okay, so focus not such about retaining your members, but more about what kind of member experience are you providing in the club at the moment. So if you are a club officer or a district officer, be aware that there are things going on which are out of your control. As much as you want to be president's distinguished or Smedley distinguished, it may not really be possible. You shouldn't really be forcing people to be doing all this, right? So make those decisions with your head, but this year, lead your members with your heart. That is very, very important. You have to have empathy this year to lead your members. With that said, this is kind of the retention roadmap, which is the member. Once a member joins in, are you identify their members' needs and goals? And I'll go into this a little bit detailed. If you're identifying the members' needs and goals and you're meeting those needs and goals, for example, someone said in the previous slide that the evaluations were bad and then the member left, right? So you're not addressing the member needs and goals. So when you are addressing the members' needs and goals, the members will continue to renew their membership in Toastmasters over and over again. So you're doing everything you can as a club, but the district also has initiatives and programs that you can make use of to help you with the membership retention process. This is something that you need to be aware of. And if you take all this into consideration, then your club will have definitely 20 members or more, right? You'll be able to retain your club as such. DTM Rajan Phillips, yes, I will send a copy of this presentation. Thank you for asking the question. The first one I said was it was about members. Now, when new members join in, most of you may not be aware, there's a sheet that you can download from Toastmasters International website. It's absolutely free. It's called New Member Profile. All of you gave different reasons of why you joined Toastmasters. As club officers, you need to know the reason. Just taking $45 is not the thing, oh, I've added 5 members for Smedley Award. You need to know why a person has joined the club so that you can accommodate, you can pair them up with the correct mentor for their growth. You know, if I've just come in for networking, then maybe my mentor should be someone in business. If I have come for public speaking skills, maybe my mentor should be A.K. Prabhakara, you know, things like that. So you need to identify this. And if your current members have not filled up the sheet, it'll be a good idea to give the sheet to all your current members also and know what their needs are. We are at the start of a new Toastmasters year. And at the start of every Toastmasters year, I would recommend all the club officers do this. This is another form that's available for free on the Toastmasters International website called the Member Interest Survey. And it basically is, what are your goals for the 2020-2021 year? Okay. As club officers, collect these goals from the members and see how you can help them achieve this goal. Maybe someone wants to get a triple crown, which means that you have to remind them, track their progress, and give enough speech slots to them during the year. Maybe someone wants to be a judge. Maybe someone wants to be a contestant, which means that they have to finish 2 levels of pathways. What are you doing to empower them? Do you know what the goals are? Or in the month of June, are you going and telling them, hey, I need 2 more DCP points, therefore I need you to complete 2 level 1s, or 1 level 1, 1 level 2. You know, there are some people who still have to get that DTM from the old program. So what are you doing as a club officer to facilitate that? There might be people who might be interested in serving district officer role next year. For that, they need to be seen by the district officers this year. Can you encourage them to volunteer at a district event this year so that they can make themselves visible? They can, the district officers can look at them, watch them grow, and then maybe next year call upon them to serve as a district officer. So this is something you have to remember, that it's all about the member. So make it about, find out what their needs and their specific goals for this year are. Second is build the member experience. Have education sessions. It's online. You can call people from all over the world to take education sessions. And before calling people from all over the world, we have enough talented and senior Toastmasters in District 121 that you can reach out to, who will be more than happy to come and help you out. What sort of thing are you doing for member engagement, right? If you're always calling guests from outside, are you taking away the stage time from your own guests, from your own members? Are you taking away time for them to speak? If every single session is going to be come and watch us, there's a world champion, every single meeting is going to be that, then where is the speaking opportunities for your own members, right? So how are you engaging the members, and are you keeping track of the roles that the members are taking? My VP Education and my president currently, they call me up and say, hey, we have not seen you in the club for 2 weeks. Can you come back? We have a role available for you. And this constant asking me makes me want to go back to the club, because I know they miss me, or at least this is their tactic to tell that they miss me, right? So how are you engaging the members? How are you saying that the members, the guests are nice, the guests are important, but the members mean the world to us? And third and final thing is, how are you having fun in your meetings? Have dinner meetings. Everyone sits down with their dinner, and you have a club meeting while having your dinner or lunch or breakfast. Have a tea time meeting, have a themed meeting. You can do all of that in the comfort of your own home or remotely, right? So what kind of things that you can do to have fun? This is where you have to build, get those creative juices running. And finally, what can the district do to support you? District has regular webinars, like this is a webinar, so you can get ideas and methods on how to improve, your clubs. There are lots of resources available. There are district awards and recognition. Give club awards and recognitions. There's the Golden Gavel Award. There's the Hall of Fames. There's a whole bunch of other awards. There are joint club meetings. The contests are coming up, so do participate in it, and encourage everybody else also to participate in these meetings. And when you do all that, you pretty much get, you will be identifying your members' needs. Once you identify those member needs and you fulfill those member needs or help them achieve their goals, the member will continue to stay. If finance is an issue, the member may go away for a little while, but will definitely come back. I guarantee you that. Make use of all those wonderful programs that the district has. If you do all this, I don't think your club will have a problem continuing to stay here, continuing to flourish, and continuing to be distinguished, right? I'll leave you with this thing, which is the way to achieve your own success is to be willing to help somebody else get it first. So this time, don't make it about yourself as club officer. Don't make it about the club. Make it all about the members. And before I open it up to question and answers, I want to share with you a little story about a club growth director in China. Last year, I was the Region 14 advisor, and China is a part of this region. So the district I was working with, District 85, is the home district of Wuhan. And for those, almost all of you know, COVID virus originated in Wuhan. So when COVID hit, people really did not know what was happening. When it finally came to India, we were prepared for it because we had no more news. But in China, they were psychologically very traumatized when COVID hit. But if about 15, 20 days before the COVID news spread, it was in the month of January when I met the district officers for mid-year training, and I asked this club growth director, who's my mentee, saying, what are your goals for this year? And he said, you know, my goal as a Toastmaster is to visit 100 club meetings and take a selfie of myself. And I said, Vaping, why don't you turn around and have the camera face the members? About 15 days later, the news of COVID hit, and we decided that this was the best time to launch this program. And they called it the Smile program, where they asked every single member to send a smile. You know, Toastmasters makes them smile, and to send a selfie in. There were no awards, there were no recognition. It was just like, send us a photograph, a selfie of yourself with you smiling. And they created a web page, and they put all these smiley photos out there for that. And this was the largest membership retention program across China. And China has 4 districts. And thanks to this program, District 85, you know, the district that was the most traumatized because of COVID, ended up becoming distinguished. And I'd like to share with you a little video that they created. I hope you can hear the sound. Can I see a thumbs up, somebody?
武汉陆续出现4例病例，811例，3万26例死亡。澳门自治区直辖市地区。
加油！武汉加油！武汉加油！我在合肥加油！加油！武汉加油！加油！加油！加油！武汉加油！武汉加油！我在武汉一切安好，为武汉加油！
For those who are wondering, Wuhan Jiao, Jiao in Chinese means go for it, Wuhan, you can do it, Wuhan. All over China, regardless of which district they came from, they all came together to create this video, and it was the largest membership retention program in the entire country, right? All you need to do is make your members smile. It's as simple as that to retain them. Right. With that, I open it up for questions. If anyone has any questions, how are we doing this, Azhar?
I see a question coming in the chat window.
Yeah. So Krishnan's question, if members are not coming regularly, then also they have to pay. I mean, sometimes they may not be able to attend any meeting in the entire 6 months. Yes, they have to pay. I funded many gyms with my membership fees by paying a lot of gym fee and not going to the gym. You know, it's pretty much like that for the club. If you're paying, it's up to you, not the club, to make sure you get a return on your investment. If you want to take a break for 6 months, then go ahead, take that break and come back to the club when you are ready. But once you make that investment, I'm sorry, we are still not in that process of offering refunds to the members at the moment, because it's an investment you are making in yourself. So Nana asked me this question: how to get back senior Toastmasters who have achieved their goals. This is a wonderful question. It's a question that is asked quite often. This is the time for your new members to watch your senior members in action. All those people who have said, I'm busy or I have other priorities in life, call them back. Even if they are not regular members, call them back and have a past members meeting. call them back and say, hey, can you come and do one evaluation, or just come back, we want to felicitate you, or we just want to recognize all our past members, you were a member for a very, very long time with us. So find a reason to call them back to the club meeting, and as long as your club meeting is great and you're having fun and a quality meeting, I'm sure they'll continue to keep coming back to the club meetings over and over again. So,
ma'am, I had a question.
Yeah, my name is Gauri. There's no ma'am.
Yeah. I'm Shikha Yadav, and we are actually a college club. So like initially when we had offline meetings, we used to have a lot of since we're a college club, we do have that excitement and energy when we meet offline. But since everything shifted online, we're kind of facing issues with, since all of us are students, we are having online classes, webinars, and a lot of pressure from college too, because they're like, anyway, you're sitting at home, do these assignments and stuff. So our members are not really turning up, and they feel that, we want that physical interaction, but they're not able to do that since we have online meetings. So how do you think we could help that?
Shikha, this is the time when I would say as students, you need Toastmasters and better communication skills even more, because it's going to be very, very difficult for you to get a job once you graduate now. A lot of people have lost their job. So the way recession works is there are going to be a lot of overqualified people who are willing to take lower paid jobs. So companies will not take freshers when they can hire someone with 5 years experience or 10 years experience for the same salary that they would give a fresher. So this is when you need to get your skill set really high so that you can compete, because you can't compete in experience. So can you compete in potential with these people, right? I would also suggest that we have a lot of Toastmasters who are in HR. Call them in to give special sessions and say, this is what we are looking for when we recruit students. And communication skills and leadership skills is definitely one of it. So focus your sessions based on student recruiting as much as possible. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for those lovely words.